Welcome to Attican Plays Railroad Corporation. All right, hi, this is Attican and welcome to part 2 of our revisit of Mission 6, where we're doing even more restrictions on ourselves to make it more interesting, to make it more challenging. We have said, first of all, no passengers, no mail. We've said we cannot own any industries. We're not taking any loans. We're not issuing any bonds. And we cannot go negative. So if this number up here ever goes red, buzz, we lost. So doing that in the last episode, if you watched that one, I encourage you to do so before you watch this one. We had to be really careful with our initial setup, track we laid, trains, how much we purchased, that kind of stuff. But it went just fine. And now we've got our little freight rail system working beautifully and humming. We've got 400,000 to the good. We finished our lobbying efforts requirement, and the lobbying has been very important to us because we've managed to lobby and get laws where lubricants are cheaper. We can buy lubricants for less. We can buy oil for less. So our oil costs less. We sell it here and make more money in Troy. Then we buy lubricants that cost less, sell it in Montgomery and down in Pensacola and make more money. So we just got a money-making machine there. And we've been very careful to watch. There was legislation in cantonment that would have made this cotton more expensive. We squashed that. There was legislation over here to make this wheat more expensive. We squashed that. So we're looking good. We've got everything rocking and rolling. And now we want to think about the next thing we want to do. And what I want to do, how are we looking? We've got 1,000 days left to finish. Our goals are to finish everything in the fastest bonus, there's 1,000 days that we have left, and to finish all the research on the Forney, which is the next train. So to that end, let's get started on research. Now that we've got our first big business, the clothing set up. Let's see here. Yeah, let's upgrade our office and put in research. And if we're going to do it, let's do it right. Let's put in full-blown research, and we're going to go out here to, we've got our American fully upgraded. Now we're going to start research on the Forney. So we're going to put everybody, all 20 of our scientists on this project, which will drive it down to 33 days. And our goal, our first thing is going to get this, and then we're going to start on this one because that'll improve even our Americans we have out there. And then we're going to get all of this done. That's our goal, to get all of this page, if you will, done so that the Forney's completely updated. So if there was a Mission 7, we'd be ready to go into it with a new train. All right, so we got research fired up. Let's check to see textiles and Apopka. Sell textiles lower in Apopka. Where is Apopka? Yes, we like that one. Let's go with 3. I have to be careful. We want them to sell textiles lower because we will eventually be buying them there more than likely. So yeah, we want you to do that. Okay. I have gotten those backwards. I've actually lobbied against myself before just by being stupid and just not being careful in how I read things. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to have this line that goes back and forth between Pensacola and Montgomery, making money both ways. Now we kind of have it set up now where it's going the T6 train. We can look at the route real fast. You can see it's heading down to Pensacola with a bunch of clothing. What we do is it goes to Albany, loads eight cars of clothing, sells 2 in Montgomery, then goes down to Pensacola and applies the rest of them to our contract. And then in order to keep it, to avoid deadhead as much as we can, deadhead means it's running a locomotive's running without any cars, without any freight or passengers or anything. So to avoid deadheading, which is just a waste of money, unless you can't avoid it, period, we're going to have the same train go here to Florala, pick up some oil, and sell it in Troy, and then it can just go nice little short run over here and start again. We'd like to have that even be more efficient. I'd like to have a train that literally just runs back and forth, carrying whiskey up to Montgomery and clothes down to Pensacola. That would be lovely. So we are going to set up our little whiskey refinery. It needs wheat and it needs lumber. All right, so we've got wheat. Where's wheat? Yeah, there's a nice wheat field here in Poplar Head that we could easily swing into Pensacola. And there's a lumber mill right over here in Apalachicola. And there's logging, the best logging for it is probably over here all the way in Alligator. So we're going to run a line. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to upgrade this station all the way. We got other things we want to do with this one. All right, the first thing is if we're going to have a direct Pensacola to Montgomery line, let's have a direct Pensacola to Montgomery line. And one thing I haven't been watching are employees. We were doing so well. Cost of research is less. I would like to have that guy because we're going to be queuing up research like crazy here. So can we put it in HR department? We can. And we're going to hire that guy because we're going to be able to use him a lot here in the near future. We got 20 research scientists that are just biting at the bit to go off and do stuff. So we're going to start queuing this stuff up as quickly as we can. All right. Okay, where was I? I want a direct line. Yeah. I want a kind of a straight. Oh, look, there's wheat right there. Look at that. Look at that. That's even better. This Newport wheat is even better than this guy over here. So let's use it for the wheat. Yeah, we need that. And in fact, let's run it and hook it into this Florala line. It really doesn't matter. It's 6 of one and half a dozen, I think. But let's make this a kind of a nice dedicated line that runs all the way up, and we can hook it into this guy. Let's see if we can't do a good connection, like from here. Oh, look at this. I forget who it was told me you could do that and get 100%. I'm not going to do it there. I'm going to run this guy on up. I'm going to have to go look up who that was. I'll make a note of who it was that told me this because it's a great tip. Look at this. We can get 120 connection by running a parallel line like that, and we could probably get 120 way up here, possibly. Well, it's coming out of that curve, so it's not quite as perfect, but look at that. We can get an 89% connection, and all we have to do now is snip off this end that we don't need, and this, there is a little bit right here we don't need to. There we go. And now we have, they barely slow down coming in there. That's beautiful, beautiful. I learned something, and I will definitely get the name of that person and share it with you. I'll put a note up here telling you who that was. All right. Let's see, where are we? So that's going to be our direct line, and then we're going to want to have, fresh from that success, we're going to want to have a line that runs parallel to this. No, we want it way down. We want a line that runs from way down here, as tight as we can get it, parallel for a little bit, so we can do the trick we just learned. Then we'll swing up here. Beautiful. Now we'll go down here and we will run a track and look at that, and get a 120 mile per hour connection. Oh, how beautiful is that? Well, I feel kind of stupid for not knowing that all the time. That is beautiful, because now you can run down and just merge right in. And I always wondered, this answers a question for me. I always wondered, you know how when you make these little, like a little connector like this, it gives you faster speed if you go out at a higher angle, which I always thought was weird. But now that I think about it, with that new technique, I wonder why wouldn't that work about everywhere you wanted to do it? I'm not going to mess with that one, but the trains slow down a little bit. That's okay. But look at this. This is a 120 mile an hour connection, and that's 120, and they don't slow down at all. This is gorgeous. All right. Enough of that. I get it. Man, I need to find a life. I get excited because I just learned something. Isn't that weird? All right. Oh, it's so pretty too. It makes much better looking track. Okay, so now. That's that track. Now it's worthless right now because we're still going to use this for the time being until we have the whiskey business going. Once we have the whiskey going, then we'll drop the Florala and Troy stops, and then it should start using this direct line. All right. By the way, it will only use that direct line if that's the fastest route. It will not use it. You know what? I'm not going to go out the back now that I've learned something new. We're going to go. Well, we've got the space out here anyway. What am I doing? We're going to go out this way so we don't have to slow down our trains. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, if I do this mission a dozen more times, I might get fairly good at it. Okay. All right. We want to target. We actually want to target. Whoops. Scratch that. We want to target Apalachicola, which is down here, much further south than what I was heading for. Okay. Now our trains can only, our top speed really on this mission for the American with a load is about 60, so this doesn't have to be 120, but I don't know why it can't be. It seems like it would be if you caught it at just the right angle. I don't want it to be under 60. There's no point in that. And really, it could be deadheading some too, so I don't want it. All right, let's just do the best we can with what we got here. 66, that'll do. All right. And we need this to go on over to its source of lumber. It's worthless as it is. And we're headed over here to Alligator to this logging. And I put a note in the last one. The reason our track is so reasonably priced is our character gets 15% off soil, 15% off rails, 40% off bridges. So I've gone down the geologist path. And I got to watch myself here because those of you who are familiar with my work, I will just spin and spin and spin. And we have this rule. If this goes red, we're dead. So got to watch that. What's our law in Pensacola? I think it's whiskey is sold low. We missed that completely. Look at that. 1 day left. we missed the big bonus on the whiskey. Oh, shucks. That's all right. That's all right. We'll make tons of money as it is. And the one thing we do want this to do is we can have a line that takes stuff back to Jacksonville. So we definitely want to extend this line. Into Jacksonville. All right, 161,000. I don't think we did too much damage there. So that's going to get us a nice log business. And we've already done our wheat as well. And one thing I am going to do is put a little line right here. And do our little rapid merge with that line. Get rid of the excess. There we go. So now that just gives the opportunity for a train to come out of the depot and go directly here to start doing its thing. And is there anything we could do? I have to tell you, we could probably just, you know what, we really didn't even need this portion. We could probably just let this one train bring wheat in here. No. If it brings wheat in here, it's going to we need we're just going to have a dedicated train to do wheat. And we could think about using a cheaper train that would easily keep up with this, or even a quote slower train that could haul, what's its pulling mass, 100. Oh no. But we're going to do the American. We're going to stick with the American. So let's set up our line here and have it sell wheat to the whiskey. And that's about all it's going to do. So let's set up repairs in Pensacola. Okay, so we got the wheat. Now we need a log train. We're going to buy another American. And again, I got to watch the money here. It's getting a little tight. I hope I didn't mess up. If I messed up, we're dead. We're going to go to Alligator and bring 7 to the lumber mill. And for now, that's all it's going to do. We're going to kind of preload that lumber mill. All right, let's hope we have some more money coming in before we buy something real expensive. We should have. We shouldn't have any problems with money. Yeah, we got T13, T3s, bringing a big load of textiles into Albany. There we go. Feel a little better. There we go. Now realize this T6, these train, this guy here, he's unloading into our contract, so we're not getting paid for that. But we're looking good. We're looking good. So T8 is going down there and doing its thing. We have whiskey coming into, wheat coming into our whiskey refinery. That's good. And let's watch T8 and make sure he does what we like. And we'll let him do one run to get kind of preload the sawmill, and then we'll modify him and we'll say, okay, when you're in Apalachicola, pick up. We can sell some paper too. There we go. Pick up 3 of each. After he starts back. Okay, now he's going to start back. And now we can modify him and say, okay, deliver 3 there and deliver 3 there. Get your service and apply. And we don't have, the game doesn't give you route information. Like, it doesn't tell you how many days it's going to take to run this route or anything like that. Let's just see if we've got anything we want to work on here. Whiskey and Americas. They sell it higher. We don't want that, but we kind of don't care. Apopka, we're already on this thing with the textiles and Apopka, so that's good. We don't really care about the rest of them, so our rest of our lobbyists can have vacation for a while. And I believe that this T8 well, let's look here. We've got a printing press. All right, so change of plan. Two, 4, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's going to have to wait a little bit. Okay, change of plan again. We're going to take this off and this off and apply, and let it do one more just straight run, so we can build up a little backlog here. We don't want it waiting after this. So after it's now we can change it. Okay, next run it can load. We'll have it load 5 and take those here. And then we'll have it load some whiskey optionally and get its service, and I'm going to slow down. And then we're going to have it stop here in Apalachicola and add in as much, add some paper, because we can sell that paper at a really good price over here. Unload all the stuff you got, and then I'm going to make that optional, although it won't matter. It'll always be there. It's already there, and we'll just continue. There'll be probably 20 there most of the time. All right, so apply that, close. All right, I think we're good on the lobbying. That's going to give us a whiskey business. So now we want to change kind of how we're doing this. Now we are going to put in the warehouse I threatened to build last time. Then we're going to look at, I think it's T3, yes it is. When you get to Albany, you pick up 8 clothing. When you, okay, we're going to add Montgomery as another stop. sell 2 of the clothes to Montgomery, and then up here in your next stop in Montgomery, if you will, we want you to unload 6 into the warehouse. Okay, so now we're going to start having a warehouse with clothing, and then we'll be selling some to Montgomery. And you might as well move your service down here to the bottom. And where is he now? He's going to Montgomery and he can load clothing. Okay, that's cool. All right, so he's all set. We'll have a warehouse, and what we need now is look at T6. Where's T6? Or is it T5? No. Okay, this guy. All right, he's got oil right now. We're going to let him dump his oil, then his route is going to get changed. Okay, he's on his way back to Albany. So he's going to pick up, just like before, he's going to pick up 6 clothing. He's going to go to Montgomery. And he's going to unload, or the 8 clothing. He's going to unload them into the warehouse. Is he? Yes, he is. He's going to unload into the warehouse, and he's going to eliminate all the rest of this stuff. And if there's anything we could take back, we could even put some meat in Montgomery and then let this guy kind of bring meat back to Albany. Remember, we're not doing posts. That would be so easy. Just have mail. You can avoid a lot of deadheads if you just have passenger and mail fill-ins, even if you don't think of yourself as a passenger mail line, but we're not allowing that. So, all right, so this guy's all costs. We'd love him to make us some money. Well, I'll think about that. We might load the warehouse. I wish you could control the warehouse and say, I want up to X number of clothes and X number of meat or whatever, but maybe down the road, maybe that'll be an enhancement. All right, so now we've got a train that's loading our warehouse with clothes. So we want to set up a line. We could start running the 40, but we're not going to. We're going to stay with the American through this. Oh, that means we need research too. All right. We'll have 4 teams of 5. And I mean, we've got that reduced cost, but it doesn't matter. We're in great shape here. All right, so we're going to start 5 researches. We're going to look at what is that right there in Montgomery? Oh, passengers, don't care. Passengers. Whiskey and Americas, don't care. Passengers, I think we're already doing that one. Yeah, we're good. All right. How about employees? Anybody worth having? Ooh, we have to pay people more. I don't think so, Alma. But cheaper rails is always good. The building construction doesn't matter because we're not building any industry, so he's not going to help us much. All right. So what have I done? Oh yeah, T6. I want T6 now. I got him doing the wrong thing. I've screwed this up. Sorry. T3 is going to sell clothes to Montgomery and unload in the warehouse. So that's correct. Now T6, we don't want him to go to Albany anymore. We want him to go to Montgomery and optionally let's unload. When we go to Montgomery, and see this is something else they need to fix. I should be able to designate a line that says load from that warehouse, but until there's something in there, I can't do that. Okay, sorry, I got interrupted, and now I got to remember what I was doing. Okay, this train here, we wanted to load. Oh, that's what I was saying. I can't set up the line properly because it won't let me load from the warehouse until that train gets there and puts some in. And I think you should be able to set up warehouse lines whether there's stuff in there or not. But anyway, so here we can unload whiskey, and that's about it. So we wanted to go down to Pensacola, and we wanted to load whiskey optionally, and we wanted to unload close, and it can get its service at the superstation up in Montgomery. That's fine. All right, so now once we get the contract fulfilled, and these should be optional too. Oh no, these are unloads. Never mind. I really want to be able to load, but I can't do it. Okay, so I'm going to just set it for now like that. And then we're going to watch this warehouse. We're going to watch T3. And as soon as... I see some other things we can do with this if we want to. So where's T3? Is he... Here's T3. He's got a bunch of clothes going to the warehouse. So as soon as that gets set, then I'll modify this line for T6, and he'll start moving the clothing back down there. As soon as he gets his service, we should see clothing going into this warehouse. There we go. Now you load. There we go. Now we got a line running between Montgomery and Pensacola hauling clothing. And I'm going to actually change this to be optional. And apply. There we go. Now that should close out our contract. So we can watch him and go down here and see he's using our new line. Great. Excellent, excellent. And that should finish our clothing contract. There we go. So now we get our new contract, our second challenge, which is to deliver 10 tools to Jacksonville. But what we need to do first, of course, is fix T6 so that you are unloading into the city of Pensacola. And we're going to do 4. And let's just haul 4 and 4. So pick up 4 if you can find them. Unload. Take that back. Pick up. Well, shoot. We want to sell the whiskey in 3's good. All right. 3. Pick up 3 whiskey, drop it off in Montgomery, pick up 4 clothing, sell them in Pensacola. And let's see if he unloads the rest of that. He should. Make us a bunch of money. So now our money's just going to take off because now we're not doing the no no pay contract anymore. We're actually selling clothing. So what we want to do up here, we've got old T3. T3. Okay, he's loading into. Oh yeah, he's fine. He's going to sell a couple. What I'd really like him to do now is probably change this a little bit. I think the first thing we should have him do is unload everything optionally into the warehouse. And that is not what I did with it. Unload everything into the warehouse optionally. So basically fill up that warehouse with clothing. And if you can't do that, then for sure unload it all. Unload, sell it to Montgomery. There we go. So now we're going to keep the warehouse filled up with clothing. That'll allow us to ship it down to Pensacola. And when it gets full, we'll just sell directly to Montgomery. So apply that. And then we want to look at our line that's, do we have a line? What's this T? I don't think we even have a line. We're already selling clothes in Macon, are we? Yeah, we are, but we aren't selling very many. So we've got this line here that's doing the meat. And what it can do is when it gets to Montgomery, it can now go to the warehouse. Oh crap, where's our clothing? See, this is, I can only do this when there's clothing in that warehouse. So I'm going to have to wait. Crap. Okay. I'm just going to watch this. Oh, it doesn't matter. We're already selling clothing. It doesn't matter. Never mind. All right. So we're going to store a bunch of clothing in Montgomery. We're going to sell it to Pensacola. See there, it's in there now. I can do what I wanted to do. All right, we'll worry about that in a minute. All right. So, are we getting any? Do we have a whiskey business yet? Where's our log train? T18. Yeah, we're about to have a whiskey business. That's a good thing. All right, we need to get into tools. All right, let's cut off this episode right here. In the next episode, we will, as I just said, get into tools. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Railroad Corporation video. Thank you.